Did you know that 85% of jobs today require creative thinking? Yet, most people still believe creativity is only for artists, musicians, or designers. Here's the shocking truth. Creativity isn't a talent, it's a skill anyone can master. In fact, research shows that businesses that encourage creative thinking grow 20% faster than those that don't. But what if I told you creativity could change the way you solve everyday problems, improve your work performance, and even boost your personal life? You don't need to be an artist to unlock your full creative potential. In this video, we'll show you how creativity goes far beyond the arts and why it matters in every part of your life. Ready to discover how you can tap into your creative power? Stick around as we reveal the secrets. Chapter 1. Unlocking the Hidden Genius. Creativity is everywhere. Creativity isn't just for artists. It's a tool everyone can use in any profession. From engineers to teachers, creativity shapes every industry. Did you know that the average person spends around 80% of their time solving problems? That's a lot of room for creativity to shine, even in everyday tasks. Thomas Edison, known for his invention of the light bulb, famously said, "Genius is 1% inspiration, 99% perspiration." This highlights that creativity often comes from consistent effort and problem-solving, not just eureka moments. In fact, research shows that businesses with creative teams grow by 20% more than others. Creativity is not a gift, it's a skill that can be honed. So, next time you solve a problem or think of a new idea, recognize that you're tapping into your creative potential. Whether you're a doctor making a diagnosis or a chef perfecting a recipe, you're using creativity. And don't forget, creativity often stems from constraints. Studies show that when we're limited by resources or time, we become more creative in our solutions. Chapter 2. Thinking outside the lines. How to find your creative flow. So, how do you find your creative flow? It starts with shaking off the fear of judgment. A study by the University of California found that people are 50% more creative when they work in non-judgmental environments. This shows how much we can achieve when we feel safe to experiment. You can also try techniques like mind mapping. This allows you to explore ideas without restriction. Another strategy is to take breaks. Research from the University of Illinois found that taking a 10-15-minute walk can help boost creative thinking by up to 60%. When you're in a creative block, a simple walk might be all you need to reignite your ideas. Don't be afraid to let your thoughts wander. One of the most effective ways to think outside the lines is to step away from the problem and let your mind wander. This creates new neural connections that can unlock innovative solutions. For some, journaling can be a great way to find flow. Write freely without worrying about grammar or structure, just get your ideas down. Chapter 3. The Art of Making Mistakes. Why failure is the key to creativity. Failure isn't the opposite of success, it's often a stepping stone to it. Creativity thrives when we allow room for failure. When we fail, we learn what doesn't work, which is essential to the creative process. The famous inventor James Dyson created over 5,000 prototypes before he perfected the bagless vacuum cleaner. Failure often sparks the next big idea. In fact, 70% of creative breakthroughs come from repeated failures, according to research by the University of Minnesota. Another reason failure is crucial: it boosts resilience. When we fail and keep going, we become more flexible in our thinking. Failures show us where our assumptions might be wrong and push us to find new perspectives. If you're afraid to fail, remember that failure doesn't define you, it defines your effort. So embrace your mistakes. They're essential to the creative journey. Consider how many times Walt Disney was turned down for financing before finally creating Disney World. The rejection only fueled his creative fire. Don't forget to subscribe. You won't want to miss the next chapters on how to unlock your creative potential. Chapter 4. Curiosity is a superpower. Why asking the right questions fuels creativity. Curiosity is one of the most powerful tools for boosting creativity. According to a study by the University of Cambridge, curiosity leads to greater problem-solving abilities. The key to creativity lies not just in finding the right answer but in asking the right questions. Google CEO Sundar Pichai once said, "I think curiosity is a great thing, especially when you are young. It allows you to explore different ideas. Curiosity pushes us to dive deeper into problems, to question the status quo. It encourages us to seek out new information and challenge conventional thinking. When you're curious, you're more likely to find fresh insights that others might overlook." But how do you nurture curiosity? One way is to engage in active learning. Rather than simply consuming information, ask questions that make you think differently. Try this. When you're faced with a problem, ask, "Why?" 5 times. This technique helps uncover root causes and new angles. Curiosity doesn't always come naturally to adults, but studies show it can be reignited by surrounding yourself with diverse ideas and experiences. Chapter 5. Creative Confidence. Overcoming imposter syndrome and owning your ideas. Even the most creative people struggle with imposter syndrome. It's that nagging feeling that you don't deserve your success or ideas. But here's the truth. Creativity doesn't always come from perfection. In fact, many of history's greatest creative minds, like Albert Einstein and Maya Angelou, battled self-doubt. The key is to push through those feelings and trust your instincts. According to research from the University of Melbourne, creative confidence is directly linked to persistence. The more you practice your creativity, the more confident you become. Don't let fear of judgment hold you back from sharing your ideas. Studies show that people who share their ideas more often are more likely to make progress. Remember, every creative breakthrough involves some level of risk. Author Elizabeth Gilbert, in her book Big Magic, says, "You don't need to be fearless. You just need to be brave." Being brave means taking the leap, even when you're unsure. It's okay to be imperfect. Creativity doesn't require flawless execution, just a willingness to try. Chapter 6. Creativity in Action. Turning ideas into impactful results. Creativity doesn't stop at the idea stage. It's the execution that turns creative thoughts into results. According to Harvard Business Review, successful innovators spend twice as much time on implementation as they do on ideation. If you've ever had a great idea that didn't go anywhere, you know how important execution is. Creativity is all about translating abstract ideas into something real. This might mean building a prototype, creating a presentation, or launching a campaign. If you're struggling to turn an idea into action, start by breaking it down into smaller tasks. A study by MIT found that breaking a project into manageable pieces increases the likelihood of successful completion. Focus on one step at a time rather than the big picture. Another tactic is to collaborate. Collaboration is a powerful tool for bringing ideas to life. Working with others exposes you to different perspectives and can accelerate the implementation process. Think of how Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak built Apple, two minds coming together to turn a small idea into a global company. Creativity is about progress, not perfection. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button for more tips on how you can tap into your creativity and start turning your ideas into impactful results.